What is up, everybody? It's Jack McNeil and we talk 1, 2, 3. Last year, on the last day of the regular season, the Cardinals got a spot in a thrilling game, one of the most historic games in baseball. And the Red Sox, of course, lost, and minutes later, the Rays got a walk-off win. What will happen today? We are seeing some absolutely magical, miraculous, and historic things go down. Billy Beane, earlier in the year, obviously being the whole part of the Moneyball, the movie, the book, got him a lot of fame, and a lot of people that weren't into baseball and knew what was going on and knew how rebuilding process worked. It probably did put a damper on the movie to see how the A's were actually doing right now. Because a lot of people were convinced that he was just such a good GM that they're going to win every game and it's a magical story. Well, it's not always like that. The A's struggled for a lot of the season. You know, obviously Cespedes was a risky move, getting a 6-year deal from Cuba, and he was a hit or miss guy, so they could have missed on the prospect here of Cespedes, but he did absolutely fantastic in his first year, overhitting 20 home runs and a batting average very high. Now, Josh Reddick, he was acquired in a trade involving Andrew Bailey. He was acquired in this deal, and he hit over 30 home runs. He was an all-star. He was absolutely amazing this year. Not expected. A huge part of this Oakland A's team in defensively and offensively. A.J. Griffin is a big part of this rotation. Almost all of their starters have been rookies this year, and he was a huge part of this team and actually pitched today. So this is an amazing thing when you see these guys coming up. Their rookies are coming up big in huge situations. You have Ryan Cook, an all-star reliever, put together a fantastic year, following with Grant Balfour, who really came through at the end here, pitching. Those two pitched in the last 5 games. Grant Balfour, we've never seen him pitch this well, and he is now, of course, the closer of the Oakland A's. Now, Jared Parker was acquired in the Diamondbacks trade involving Trevor Cahill, and he has developed into a number 3 starter already. I mean, he has really developed well this year. A lot of rookies have been extremely talented. Billy Beane has got to be smiling. You got to give him a lot of props, but again, this is a magical year either way you look at it. No one would expect these rookies to come through in these situations that they had, the guys that they signed, the guys that they traded for. They've all put together amazing seasons. This is absolutely, just a lot of drama for the last day. Maybe not as good as the year before, but a lot. Not only have the Texas Rangers gone to the World Series 2 years in a row, we're expected to go again. They still can, don't get me wrong, but this is definitely going to put some pressure on them. They could be beat by Baltimore. Baltimore's had a magical season, and I really wanted Baltimore and Oakland to be in the playoffs. I would love for that. I didn't think it was possible because either way I saw the Oakland A's playing the Orioles. I didn't see the Oakland A's actually winning the West. For them to come back on June 30th, being 37-42, being 13 games behind, being swept by the Texas Rangers, even being behind the Red Sox. Their chances of making the playoffs, 1.4%. Chances of winning the division, 0.4%. They came up since July 1st, really since, right around the trade deadline, or a little before that, actually. They started getting hot. They started sweeping clubs. They started winning series, and they really started to kick it up. And once they did that, they did not stop. Seth Smith obviously was a huge part of this team, along with so many others that no one was expecting. Brandon Moss was a huge part of this team. Johnny Gomes only played 99 games and still hit 18 home runs. Yes, he had the strikeout. Yes, we know that, but when he was playing, he was doing fantastic. Steven Drew, they needed him so bad. The last few weeks of this season, they needed some infield depth. They went out and they got him. He's hit 250 on base percentage, above 300, 5 home runs. Could be very important for the playoffs. They need that defense. They need him in that lineup, and maybe even past this year. Coco Crisp hit, almost stole 40 bases, provided great defense. Yes, he only hit 259, but he did extremely well this year, along with Johnny Gomes, platooning in there every once in a while. Brandon Moss with over 20 home runs. Cespedes with over 20 home runs, almost hitting 300. That's an amazing year, especially for only playing 129 games and not expected to do that well at all. Seth Smith hit over 10 home runs, got 14 actually, provided some pretty good offense for Oakland there, platooning in certain situations, and played a good portion of the season. Chris Carter came in and did, pretty well power-wise. Obviously, the average was never expected to be above 300, but he got 16 home runs, and he could be a huge part in this playoffs. Now, as it sits today, I believe they'll be playing the Detroit Tigers this Saturday. Now, if the Rangers beat the Baltimore Orioles, they might be playing the Yankees. So if everything goes right, the Cardinals could be playing the Tigers, or the Nationals could be playing the Oakland Athletics. We don't know what will happen for the World Series, but it is absolutely amazing that they beat the Rangers on the last day. They swept them. Nothing is more dramatic than that. They sweep the Rangers. They had to sweep them, and they did. 3 games, and they won it on the final day. They beat the Texas Rangers, defending AL champions. Just a huge upset. The big story this year for the Oakland A's is more than half of their wins have come from rookie starters. They have, one of the top ERAs in baseball at like 3.78, somewhere around there. A very good ERA, almost as good as Detroit Tigers, and they did it with guys like Travis Blackley, AJ Griffin, Tommy Malone won 13 games, Jared Parker, and Dan Straley, and many others. So, I mean, this is an amazing year, a very miraculous year. No one expected this, and just a great job by all involved. This is going to be a very exciting playoff this year. I'm rooting for the Oakland A's in the AL, and I would love to see them win. It will be very exciting. No one's expecting. Billy Beane definitely deserves that ring. Thank you guys for watching. Congratulations to the Oakland A's. Sorry, Texas Rangers fans. Hope you guys